Hello and welcome to this week's podcast, where we're no longer fanboys for this episode. We're weeaboos.
Whoop, 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 whoop. I should have worn my Naruto headband. And the pink hair I have at home.
I do have one of the hidden leaf headbands somewhere.
Please, is there a way that you could find it?
I'm not here,
Jim!
unfortunately.
I would wear that without any shame.
As your host, I must say that I am not... never mind, who can I kid? I'm the biggest weeaboo here.
Don't even pretend. I think you watch more anime than I have.
Probably.
You'll be surprised.
Okay. So, as you can tell, this week we're going to discuss anime. A lot of anime. And in fact, this is going to be another two-parter.
Because you guys are just so goddamn obsessed, you need 2 episodes to talk about it all.
Yeah.
No, we're so talkative. We're like catty schoolgirls.
Oh, instant karma. Sorry, I didn't mean to... Funny.
That's what you get.
Apparently. Sorry.
Alright, so... For today, we're going to start off with what a lot of people call the grandfather of anime. I don't, because I know better. Shonen.
Shonen.
Alrighty.
I honestly think, just side note, I think when they say grandfather of anime, I think possibly, yeah, they're over-exaggerating. I think they are using the wrong term. I think it's what really kickstarted anime in America.
Right.
Because, you know, there were anime before it, like Akira and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like really everyone just took off when Toonami hit. Mm-hmm. And a lot of their shows that they showed were a lot of shonen shit.
Right. And we'll definitely get to that. But, how much would you say that you watch shonen?
I would honestly say that has been most of my anime experience growing up. You know, the classics, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, the new shit like One Punch Man, Boku no Hero, which I need to watch a lot more of. You know, I find those more entertaining. There are some that are just generic as shit. They really are. I was never able to get into like One Piece. I don't think it's generic, just I wasn't able to get into it. Bleach always seemed kind of nonsensical to me. But yeah, I've sunk in so much time into shonen.
Okay.
More so than other anime genres.
Okay, let's go to you.
I don't really actually know what that entitles.
Shonen...
Battle animes.
I'm sure I've watched a lot, but...
Well, there used to be the magazine called Shonen Jump.
I remember that. I have a copy.
You have a copy.
It's still here.
A lot of the anime that come out of that is what you call shonen. I'll name a couple. Sailor Moon.
Woo! I always thought that was a magical girl.
I have a bunch of VHSs of Sailor Moon.
It is a magical girl anime, but it was originally shonen.
Okay.
Good, because it's fucking perfect.
Hunter x Hunter.
Amazing.
Fuck yeah, Hunter x Hunter.
I need to get into that.
Or, I'm sorry, people get mad at me. Some people call it Hunter x Hunter, some people just call it Hunter x Hunter. Whichever you call it, doesn't matter.
Same damn thing.
I call it Hunter x Hunter.
See, there you go.
I like how you got, like, the accent in the middle and then you went straight back to...
Yeah, I mean, I'm American, right?
Yeah, really. Yeah, Hunter x Hunter, Dragon Ball Z, what was that? Shaman King?
Shaman King?
Shaman King.
Oh.
Yeah, Shaman King would be one. Card Capture Sakura was kind of...
I never watched that one either. I heard it was really good and I should have, but I didn't.
it was weird.
Bleach.
Bleach, Naruto...
Okay, I get it. Yeah, I've watched a lot of it, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What are your thoughts on those type of shows? Like the really mainstream kind of stuff.
I just like them. Most of them. I'm sure there's some that I haven't watched that I probably wouldn't like, but whatever.
Alright, so how about this?
A fuck ton of those.
What is your favorite out of them? Oh, Boku no Hero is a shonen as well.
So is One Punch Man.
It's gotta be Hunter x Hunter. I'm sorry, that was my favorite. It's like my favorite anime of all time. Besides Sailor Moon, but that's...
The ending to Hunter x Hunter is priceless.
I just want more. I want more so badly.
Well, they finally released like 2 episodes of the manga.
Yeah.
2!
Yeah. How long has it been? It's been 2? I understand.
Here you go, you savages. Read these 2 books.
He had his reason.
He had his reasons, but still, I'm just...
Yeah, I get that.
Okay. For you, best and worst.
I'm battling between two of my favorites of all time.
Let's go the worst.
Worst? There was one I just couldn't stand.
Also, you give Bleach a lot of shit, and I admit that it's not the best, but I think it's kind of fun just kind of, just to zone out, kind of veg to.
Well, there are some things in Bleach that I actually thought were pretty cool. I enjoyed the Hollow Mask. I thought that was a pretty cool fucking thing.
Yeah.
The ideas of, like, Bankais and other shit I can't really remember. Then also, Hand to Anime God. My base understanding of Bleach came from season 1 and then snippets every once in a while on Toonami. So once again, I haven't focused at all. It's just like if someone watched the first season of Naruto and then jumped all the way towards the end of Naruto Shippuden, they're like, what the fuck is this?
Not even the same thing.
Yeah.
Understandable. Anyway, sorry to interrupt. I just had to point out that I don't think it's that awful.
The worst shonen. Oh, that's a long list.
That is a long list. What is just one that you just could not get into?
Sword Art Online. If that's considered a shonen.
I don't remember if it is or isn't.
For some reason, I feel like it's no.
I'll look that up. You ask her what her worst are.
Okay. Well,
I don't know.
That's so helpful.
You're not too familiar with the term shonen, so I don't blame you for that.
And there's never been really any anime that I've watched that I haven't liked. Have I continued watching it? No, because it didn't hold my interest, but I wouldn't say that it's bad by any means.
Alright, so let me ask you a different question to kind of spice it up. Mm-hmm. Did you ever watch Dragon Ball Z?
No.
Okay,
so... It's perfect.
That look.
Okay.
If anyone's against it, I need to fight him.
Okay. How about, let's compare two shonens. Two major ones.
Okay.
Let's compare Hunter x Hunter to Boku no Hero. There's that smile.
I'd still say Hunter x Hunter.
Well, what are some contrasting? Give me some commentary to that.
Well, besides one being hella old and one being brand new, well, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard.
Alright, how about the story? The story of Hunter x Hunter versus the story of My Hero
Well, it's really
Academia.
hard. That's the thing. It's really hard to compare the two because they're so different.
What are some things that you liked or disliked of the story of Hunter x Hunter?
I kind of just liked the whole thing. I liked all of it. I thought it was super good.
Alright, apparently shonen, a Japanese word is technically meant for boy, so anything that is really aimed for
young
the demographic of teen boys falls under that. So yeah, Sword Art Online falls under that.
Oh, gotcha.
And I can't get into it. The main character bores the ever-loving piss out of me. He's good at everything, no matter what it is. And every time he is bad at something, it's always some arbitrary bullshit. Like, oh, I didn't think to do that. Fuck you. He also has, like, the most punchable face. And every girl loves him no matter what he says or does. No matter how many times he, cock blocks them. Just, like, get away.
He has more tail than Link in the new Breath of the Wild.
Oh my god. You mean he gets more tail?
He has more tails? Like tails?
Yeah, really.
Do you know his real name is Miles Per Hour? I knew that.
So, alright. So, I'm going to move on out of shonen.
Wait, I didn't say my
favorites. Yeah. Go ahead.
I've deliberated this a lot. I have to say Naruto. The reason I say Naruto, even though I love Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and all that shit to death, to me, Dragon Ball Z is slightly dumber than Naruto is. I can look at a lot of shit that Naruto does and sit there and go, yeah, it's, half-baked at times. But to me, I just find the world more interesting to be in. How their, jutsus work, how they could be countered, all the other different bells
there was some thought put into it.
Yeah, I was about to say, and also as not a Dragon Ball Z person, I've literally never watched Dragon Ball Z at all. I've seen maybe one episode as a child, like late at night, and I don't remember.
Hang on.
Oh, the closest I've ever gotten to Dragon Ball Z is, Team 4 Star. Like, my favorite thing ever. So...
Vegeta.
What a majestic creature. Okay, we can go on forever. How is it plot-wise?
Plot-wise, I can break this down, and this breaks down most shonen anime. Enemy comes across. Main character loses the enemy. Becomes stronger. Defeats enemy. Goes on to next enemy.
See, and I think that's a big problem, too, comparing the two. Only because that one was so much older, they didn't really have to put so much thought into it to attract children and stuff.
Well, in Dragon Ball Super, that's basically the plot rehashed.
Yeah.
But except now we're going timey-wimey.
Wibbly
wobbly.
But with Naruto, they put... It's at least somewhat newer, and they put more thought into it. There's more plot. And was Dragon Ball Z based on a manga? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, shit, then never mind. There goes that point. I don't know. I just feel like it would be easier to say Naruto because there's a lot more plot. It's more convoluted, and it drags you in more to the story.
Sorry, what was I saying?
No, go ahead.
And a lot of people consider Dragon Ball Z to at least be like the grandfather of shonen, but you can put that label on practically any anime, and people will sit there and go, "Yeah, that might be true." An older anime.
You want to know who the true grandfather of anime is? Astro Boy.
Yes. Oh my God.
We really want to argue this point. Astro Boy did it.
I watched the old black and white Astro Boy that was on
It's
Adult
amusing.
Swim.
It is amusing.
When I was a kid, it terrified me. The way that it sounded, the way that it flashed, and all that shit, I was like,
"Oh no,
what is this?" But with Dragon Ball Z, like Casey said, especially in the Z, instead of just original Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball had some plot.
It did, but it also kind of fell into the same format of enemy A appears, they fight him, the enemy A wins, the heroes go off to train or, heal up, heroes come back, they're stronger now, beat the bad guy, go home, rinse, repeat. However, and this is my opinion, so if you're a big fan of Dragon Ball Super, I understand. To me, at least, Dragon Ball Z tried to shift it up every once in a while. The villain was always slightly different. Frieza was like an intergalactic, just dictator,
right?
Who wanted to capture immortality and capture all the worlds and just be the strongest, most badass person.
Cell wanted to be perfect.
Yeah, Cell wanted to absorb the androids to become perfect.
Boo
was just an agent of chaos. You point him in a direction, he'll destroy anything in front of you.
Right.
Then you get to Dragon Ball Super. It's practically a rehash. The first season brought in a new character that I really enjoy, Beerus. He's the god of destruction, technically, and each universe technically has a god of destruction.
The cat one, right? The purple dude?
Yeah.
I like his design, and he's actually a pretty cool character. And then he is brought... He has an angel by his side that technically dwarfs him in power. Is stronger than Beerus, but also is, his kind of check. Like, if he tries to get out of, order, like, I'll fucking break you down.
Yeah, slow you down.
Yeah. And then, towards the end of the season, he's told that, oh, there are gods even stronger than me.
Yeah.
So then, it's setting up this huge thing, and it's like, oh god, I can't wait
then
to see
it turns to one, like, giant tournament anime with, like, a tournament arc of several seasons of multiple universes of just timey-wimey fan fiction what ifs.
And what pisses me off so fucking hard is the main character Goku in this tournament is just sticking around. He's the strongest person there, except for maybe like 2 other people, and he's not going his strongest. These people will die if all of them are eliminated. If they're all
if they lose, the threat is their universe will be wiped out.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, so Goku's just dicking around in the corner, just like, hey, I'm gonna train this young girl to get even stronger. I'm like, Goku, we're all gonna die.
We're all gonna die.
Focus. Now, a lot of people will sit there and go, well, he did that a lot with, in Z too. And I was like, yeah, but that was also, at times where he thought someone else, either him or someone else, could stop this person. In the Cell arc, he gave Cell a Senzu bean to heal completely up, but he knew that his son could beat him. and all this other shit. In this, he knows that if the time runs out, they're all fucked. Stop dicking around Goku for once.
All right, so
But yeah,
here's my
Naruto.
thing. I'm Naruto your favorite, so that must mean you like Boruto, right?
No,
Come
cigar.
on, man. It's the next generation.
Yeah, and the next generation sucks ass.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Okay.
Come on. All the happy endings gone. You know, a person who defeated a god in the series get killed by some whiny a-hole with some eyes.
Yeah, the first scene just utterly pisses on everything. You know, this new dickwad named Kawaki or whatever shows up. Is like, yeah, I killed your dad. What are you gonna do about it, Boruto? And Boruto's like, I'm gonna fight you. And I'm like, fucking shit. Are you kidding me? I can't watch Naruto fly off into the fucking sunset with his wife and kids.
Nope.
I care more about Naruto than I care about any of his children, okay? Boruto has not done anything to endear himself to me. He's actually done the opposite. He hates his father. And I'm like, first off, if you knew what your father went through when he was a kid, you would shut your mouth. He didn't have parents, and he was hated by everyone.
And that's just like a huge thing too to me. Is I was like, this kid has no troubles at all.
Mm-hmm. His life is
You
perfect.
never suffered, and I'm just like, no.
But you know, as Boruto fans, I like to sit there and say, yeah, well, you know, if you didn't have a dad, if your dad went to work all day, you would probably hate him too. I wouldn't know because I don't have a dad.
Yeah, that's like,
So I'm gonna sit here and tell you to shut up. You have a dad, you have a mother, both of them love you, and you have a little sister that adores you.
and you have you got a cushy life. You're
But
getting trained.
you have to have a
personally,
character that relates to all the angsty teens. Okay.
Do you know what? There's a perfect way they could have done this. First off, instead of having, Naruto just, neglect his family, how about he makes clones for his family? And you could sit there and say, okay, Boruto gets pissed off because his father's not actually spending time with him, he's just sending his clones. That makes a slight more sense than him just getting mad at his dad. Why aren't you here with me all the time? Oh, I don't know, maybe because I'm running the fucking village.
Maybe,
I can't help
Oh,
that.
what did you
I'm
think
keeping
of the
this fucking roof
fact
over
that they
your head.
modernized?
I feel like it kind of jumps the guns a bit. Like, back in the... I mean, yeah, they had technology back then. They had TVs, they had lights, they had all that shit, but now they have trains.
And it was also, I think,
Video games.
It felt like a good mix between, technology and more of like a, not quite feudal kind of era, but, it was just a nice mix of old and new. And
Yeah.
this one, they're just like, oh, no, wait.
They
new.
got an entire just fucking booming system. It's actually kind of the same jarring experience, at least to me.
As
When
Legend of Korra.
Yeah, I was about to say, when I was watching Avatar The Last Airbender, I see the end of that, it's like, oh, I can't wait to see what the new Avatar deals with. And now they're in the 1920s. I'm like...
Wait a
And
second.
how long was
Jesus.
and what was it supposed to be, 100 years past or
No,
something?
not even that.
Not
Like,
even?
Go, I think
60.
Aang, I was about to say Aang died relatively young. So, well, Katara was pretty old, so let's say, yeah, about 60.
70 years.
So they went from feudal Japan...
So they're saying feudal Japan was in 1880?
Something like that.
1860?
Well, Avatar would be more Chinese, but yeah.
Yeah, feudal Japan.
Or they're saying, or whatever, they're
China.
saying that this feudal era happened only 60 years before the 1920s.
Yeah.
They're just like, there was so much technical advancements that we have cars
Because
now,
there was peace.
we have TVs.
I'm
Record
sorry.
players.
Technology doesn't jump quite like that. At least not...
Not back then.
Not back then. Nowadays, maybe. Back then,
Okay,
no.
so-
I think honestly they do that just to get like a different aesthetic, like to shift it from what it used to be.
Right, but it comes across more forced
Yeah.
than...
Yeah.
Then
Ernest.
people understand.
It's more like different dimension kind of bullshit or
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, if they wanted to jump to that, that would have been kind of interesting.
Okay,
Yeah, sure.
so moving on to a different genre. To... comedy. Comedy. Alright, for this one, I'm going to exclude any comedy romance.
Well,
Then you
fuck.
just excluded like 90% of my.
We'll
arsenal.
get there, but there's a lot of ones that are just straight comedy. Full Metal Panic, Fumofu. would
Okay,
be
I've
a
seen
good
that.
one.
I've seen that.
What does Full Metal Alchemist count as?
That's an action.
Okay, I was about to say.
Action adventure.
Wait a sec. Let's not miss the big one here. Okay,
I
we'll get there.
love fucking Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, we'll get there, believe me. Oh, okay, so comedy. I honestly don't know. I don't really know how to differentiate between the two. Like, I know the difference, but like watching something, it's harder to separate it.
For me, comedy is like animes that don't focus on a romance, like just straight Baka no Test.
Okay, yeah. I thought that was slightly a harem, though. There was 2 girls going after him, right?
That wasn't the focus of it at all. I mean, I
actually found that one kind of funny.
Doesn't harem usually imply more than 2? It's usually like 3 or more.
Yeah. I find it also funny because the main character is practically inept.
Another one. Have you heard I'm Samato? Oh, this one.
Oh, I've seen.
Yeah, that's a good example of...
I think I've seen like an episode or 2 of that. It's great.
The guy who's perfect?
Yeah, he can't do anything that makes him look bad. He's literally like perfect no matter what.
I was teaching them to build a fire in the attic or whatever it was in this abandoned classroom. Oh my god, that's the one I remember the most.
Though I do have to say, I haven't seen the whole season, but I feel like the joke might run a bit thin after.
Actually, it doesn't.
It doesn't?
They find ways to keep it going for the entire series.
Keep it fresh.
Good. Because I was about to say, just that simple joke of, hey, he's perfect. I felt like that would have gotten a bit old.
He goes through struggles.
Good.
But it's like really weird. They balance it really weird.
Does that guy have a cockatiel head?
Yes. This is a very strange show.
It looks very strange.
If you can read that out loud.
Arakawa Under the Bridge.
Yeah. It's a comedy. It gets weird. That's an acid trip of a show.
She looks extremely attractive.
No.
I'm joking.
Yes. Too bad that's a dude.
Woo! I don't give a fuck.
Okay. So,
as long as you got a hole.
Gintama's another comedy. Gintama's... That one's a hard one to kind of pin down, because Gintama started out as a series and then moved to a comedy romance, and then just moved straight to comedy, and just... They kind of became action there for a little bit. Gintama's weird. Gintama. Any Gintama fans out there? Why?
Answer in the comments.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't feel like I've watched really any just straight comedies. They're always usually rom-coms.
I was about to say, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I only watch things that deal with 2 things. I can sit there and laugh at a comedy, but if someone's not worrying about if the preppy girl likes them, I kind of tune out. I don't know why. I'm a freak.
Okay.
That's why I'm not a...
What about...
That's not why... Sorry.
Sorry, but what would Detective Conan fall under?
God.
I feel like that's... Okay.
When I was a kid, I loved fucking Detective Conan, even though I understood very little when I was
Do you know that's on the top 5 most longest running series?
I'm not surprised at all.
No.
It's got so many. I'm obviously terrible at discerning what fits under what genre. Clearly,
Lupin the Third was he also one as well?
Yeah, he's also one, but I think Conan started before even Lupin. Damn. I think the manga started in the 70s.
Shit.
And it's
he's still
ongoing.
A kid?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh no, not still a kid.
I was about to say.
It split into 2 different trees. Yeah.
Okay.
The original Detective Conan is still going.
Mm-hmm.
So is the other one.
Okay. I was about to say, I would just imagine that if I was a kid for about 7 years, I would have just given up by now. I would have just
bye.
I'm just gonna go to daycare. Fuck it. I'll just live another fucking life as a kid. Like Ash Ketchum or something.
Yeah.
Oh my god. He never ages. God damn it. Shit. What was I about to say? But
yeah, comedy. I don't know.
Oh, you know one. Oh God, what is it called? The one with father.
Oh, Azuma Odaya.
Azuma, yes. It was right on the tip of the tongue. Azuma Odaya. You have no idea what I'm talking about.
It's in a
Alright.
foreign language.
That's a comedy. That's a straight up.
My favorite is the pervy teacher. I love him so much.
I just love that in anime in general, there's always that one stereotype of the pervy
Well,
old man.
This one turns on his head. Everybody thinks he's like the most perverted teacher. Everybody has a heart of gold.
He does.
I think I've heard of this.
Yeah, like there's one episode that's like, I want to drink the water the girls swam out of. They're just like, so they start following him. And like he hands his whole paycheck to an orphanage. And like all sorts of things. Has a wife and kids. Like the perfect role model of this kind of person.
You
It's
know what
just
that?
like,
You know what that made me think of? He's sad Hoshi.
yes.
Oh no.
Okay. So why is it, do you think, that animes focus more towards rom-com than just straight comedy? Although there are a lot of really good comedies out there.
I think it's more or less you can ship it to two people. When it's just that, because with rom-coms you can pull people in that only like comedies, you can pull people in that only like romance, and then you can pull in both.
Yeah.
You know, people that like both.
Mhm.
But if you just focus on one sole thing, you know, someone doesn't want to just sit there and watch, you know, just one romance, or someone doesn't want to sit there and watch just a comedy. So
And yeah, and I think also that it adds just another depth to
a second layer.
a second layer of enjoyment into it. You like, so you can get invested in the characters more. Like, oh, or especially if like one person, they have two options, so you're like, which one do I root for? Oh, that was really funny. Ah ha ha! I'm getting lots.
But
of
that
enjoyment.
one's really fucking sad.
Or those.
Yeah, the sad ones, they get me. They're like surprises.
We're gonna be talking about the feelies here.
They're like
Oh, shit.
they're like someone putting rusty nails in a surprise egg, Cadbury surprise egg. You just put it in your mouth and it's like, oh, this is
Oh, that was a terrible thought. Ah!
just sadness and pain. Razor
All right,
blades.
so let's move on to that. All right, let's talk
Good
about
segue.
drama.
Mm-hmm.
It can be drama, it can be action, it can be adventure. Let's talk about sad anime.
Can we not pretend that we did?
Okay, let me just list off three in my head particular. Clanad, Angel Beats, and Toradora. And Toradora can be sad in some moments, but it's also a comedy. Same with Clanad. And Angel Beats, overall, wasn't really that sad.
Until that last moment.
Until the last moment when that happened, and you're just sitting there like, ah,
I don't want you to go.
ah.
Shut up.
All right. So,
Just tears.
so those are yours.
I'm a manly man who cries.
I know you agree with Angel Beats.
Yeah.
What other sad ones would you list on that?
You're gonna have to name some because I don't think I can't think of anything off the top of my head. And that sounds awful. You think I'd remember them, but I obviously don't.
No, you just shut them out of your brain
Yeah,
because they're
I
too
buried it
dramatic.
all in the back, so I don't have to remember and cry over it.
Okay, you watched Clan Ed, didn't you?
I don't remember.
Claymore.
Aww.
I haven't seen that one yet.
No. That was awful and sad.
Alright, so Claymore, I know you watched Claymore.
That one was fucking sad. Yeah. I got a good one.
Okay.
What is that? Elfen Lied?
Elfen Lied.
Oh, oh God!
I was trying to repress that shit.
The end of Hunter x Hunter
Yeah.
with the king.
But that's not an overall sad one.
That's more of a
Yeah.
shoonin'.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is, but that ending was rough.
Fucking rough.
Air the movie.
I don't remember.
Well, if we
Remember on the beach, running towards him,
No.
died in his arms.
I'm still got nothing.
if we're talking about sad endings to anime, you want to see a grown man cry over a shonen? Watch the very ending of Dragon Ball GT. When I was a kid and I saw the ending of that, because it was technically just at the very end, it was Goku visiting all of his best friends and loved ones before he finally flew off with Shenron.
Yeah.
And it's just the narrator talking about it, and I was just like, we're not gonna get any more Dragon Ball anymore. And now I'm older, and I'm like, we need to stop having more Dragon Ball.
Okay, whoa, time to
Yeah.
stop, please. God,
I was
kill
wrong when I was
Yeah.
like 12. So don't take 12-year-old me's word for it. Take adult me.
It. Just let it die.
So, okay. For me, You Lie in April is the
Oh,
one I'm adding.
Shut up, that one was sad too.
Now, you haven't watched You
I
Lie
have
in April.
not. But I've
As-
seen the animation and some clips, and It is gorgeous.
See,
Oh, yeah.
for me, Basilisk is up there.
Basilisk.
Basilisk.
There you go.
Basilisk.
Probably haven't seen it.
Basilisk is a very weird one. It starts off as a action anime.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about two ninja clans that have to kill each other.
I watched the first 2 episodes of that. I remember that.
Okay, weird animation.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't like the first episode of between like a fight between 2 ninjas. I think one of them was like a spider.
Yeah, and then like that goes off for like 5 minutes, and it's the old man or old woman talking, and then they kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
What happens is you find out that the main
Spoiler alerts.
I'm saving you some trouble. The main person off of one camp is male, and the main person off the one camp were female. They were engaged when this battle started.
Aww.
And you have so much hope for the end of this. And at the very end, before they have to face off, before she does, she kills herself. And he was going to stop the fight.
No.
It was just like...
True love!
What? Oh, Chrono
Crusade.
Chrono Crusade.
No.
Can I see that? I haven't seen... I think I've heard of that.
Just for the record, though, the manga is much better than the anime.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen it or have you read it?
I've seen clips of it. I haven't seen the
You
full
want to
thing.
read it. I promise you it's so much better. Fuck, it's sad.
But the one that really gut punched me, but also got me really fucking pissed, was Clanad, because I think most of the sad shit, real sad shit, happened towards Clanad after story. We went through all these misadventures with these characters, them going through high school, dealing with their melodrama shit.
Yeah.
Well, they won't, all that shit. And then the 2 main characters, Tomoya and Nagisa, get together. They're having they're going to be having a kid. And, they're all having a good old time. And then the day that she's giving birth, she dies. She dies giving birth to the baby. So you're just sitting there, and she's so sweet and innocent, and she just fades. And Tomoya goes into a fucking drinking spell, and he leaves the daughter to her parents. And then he finally comes back after like 5 years and finally decides to be a good father to her. And then the week that he had with her, was the best week in the world. And then the kid dies too.
Oh, fuck no.
Yeah, so
That's
he's just
awful.
sitting there just holding his dead kid. And he's just like, why?
Alright, I have 2 to mention.
Okay.
And these are big mentions. Death Parade.
Oh. I think I've seen that.
That means nothing to me.
Like, you know the first 2 episodes in that this is a heavy hitter.
No, I'm thinking of another one. I think Death Playground or something.
You probably are. If that main character, the bartender, doesn't say anything.
No, okay. I haven't seen
Okay.
that one.
Wait, oh yeah, that's the one that you like. That's
Yeah.
the one that you like. Mm-hmm.
This one's heavy hard. It starts off... I'm not going to tell you anything about the story, because it's just... I don't even want to give a spoiler alert on this one. If you have not seen Death Parade, go watch it.
I don't agree that Fruits Basket is a sad one.
Well...
I mean, it's got some sad elements, but it's mostly it's supposed to be a hopeful one.
Right.
Which is a fucking great one, by the way. Oh my god, I love it.
So, but with
Fruits
that...
Basket, the one where they turn
They're all
into
Zodiacs?
Zodiac
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll watch that.
The thing about Death Parade is it's one of those that every episode you're upset because of something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they introduce characters for one episode and you're just like, why? Why can't I give this person a hug?
I have such a hard time getting into animes like that.
It is hard.
Where you're just sitting there and you're just so frustrated at times. Like, why?
And my second honorary mention is a classic, Grave of the Fireflies.
Can I see a picture of it?
That's a Miyazaki one.
That is a Miyazaki one.
So it had a famous voice actor in it for the who was it?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Was that who it was?
No.
Oh, you're just...
I lied. The only
cast.
I swear it has somebody for the English cast. They had somebody.
No clue. We'll figure that out later.
I want to know. I really want to say it's Tim Curry for some reason. I don't think that's right. Don't quote
That's
me.
the Cat's Return.
Yeah, that's
You're-
the Cat's Return. Okay.
You're thinking of the Cat's Return.
Miyazaki.
Love
Spirited
Miyazaki.
Away.
Okay.
I thought that was Studio Ghibli. Is that the thing?
Yeah,
that works on it?
Studio Ghibli is
Yeah.
owned by Miyazaki.
The only Studio Ghibli movie I've actually watched fully through is Ponyo, and Ponyo was fucking amazing to me.
Do you know what's
What is
interesting?
wrong with you?
I'm sorry.
We'll fix that.
Yeah.
We'll fix that. You know what Miyazaki has done?
What?
I think he worked on some of the Dark Souls things too.
No, it's not.
That makes sense.
He did not work on them. He was like majorly in charge of them.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That makes sense. That man. That man seems like he has a twisted brain.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
You never seen My Neighbor Totoro?
You've never seen Spirited Away? What the? You're not a real anime fan. I'm more an anime fan than you are at this point. I'm sorry, sir.
You have lost your Weeaboo ranks.
You have.
Oh, damn it. Guess I'm just gonna have to sleep on my bed of body pillows.
Yep. Poser.
And cry myself to sleep while singing
And-
Hatsune Miku songs.
And wearing your Naruto headband.
Please tell me you don't run with your arms behind you.
I don't run in general.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that video? It's a bunch of. It was for
Okay,
the recent.
Choji.
It was for the recent hurricane, and it's a bunch, and it's somebody's filming out their window, or it's like a still shot or something. And it's a bunch of people running on the beach, like in the sand, and like out of the sand, and the wind is blowing everywhere, and they're all running with their arms behind them. And somebody was like, "Nobody's taking this fucking seriously."
I just loved it if they were running and then just some
A sign
debris just impaled one of them.
Or like just the wind just swept them up, like whoa.
Yeah, and they all just fucking scatter.
I'd pay money to see it.
So, okay, question to you. Why do you think sad anime sticks with you so much? Why do you think that you know it's going to be a sad anime when starting, you know it's going to hurt, but you still watch it?
It's called masochism. It's a very real thing in a lot of people.
So,
yeah.
do you feel you have to have a sense of emotional masochism to watch that?
Yes, because I have to be really in the mood to watch something that I know is going to hurt me. I seriously have to. I haven't... There are some that I don't even go back to after I see the sad ending. Like, I see it once, and I'm done.
Well,
Don't
see,
need to see it anymore.
I think that's for most people. Is like if you watch a sad anime, you're not gonna go watch it again.
Yeah, because you know what's going to happen.
And it's just...
At the very
And if it's
end.
bad again, and if it's bad enough, it's gonna fuck me up again. And I'd rather not do that.
And I think it's also,
One
it kind of
done.
plays to the human mindset of, like, why we also play, like, horror games or horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's that just jolt of emotion that I think a lot of people need in life. And, you know, they may not be getting it in real life. Because,
Or car crash, train wreck,
Yeah.
or something. You can't look away from it. You have to experience it.
I honestly don't think that there's a lot of people that would sit there, you know, if they're having a sad life, also go watch a sad anime. I mean, they might just to get, like, you know, I know how that feels. But, you know, when you don't have really, you feel like everything's pretty good in your life and you watch that, you're just like, okay, that was a good cry. That was a good emotional...
My life's really great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going now.
It's
Yeah.
just, I think it's just like an emotional hit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like it's aimed to hit one spot and one spot really good.
Have you ever started a series not knowing what to expect and then it hits you hard?
Yeah, Planet.
Yeah, he says. And I also think, like you said too, that people just looking for that jolt of emotion, especially like it's one of those extreme emotions too. You're not, you know, so people just kind of look for that kind of thing, like adrenaline junkies or I don't know, things like that. I think it's the same kind of.
That and also animes aimed mostly towards teens, and teens' lives are miserable anyway.
Right.
And they like to feel miserable.
See, the sad animes I hate is the ones where you see it coming. Like episode 2, you're like, I know what's going to happen here.
I'm not dealing with
see it coming. And somehow on the last episode or something, they just know that right heartstring to pull that make you go, no!
I knew this was happening. Why is it still fucking me up?
Why am I still watching this?
You Lie in April was exactly like that for me. It was like, okay, I know what's going on. I guessed it from episode 2. By episode 22, the last episode comes, I'm bawling like a bitch. You know?
I can't stand it. I don't know why I watch shit like that.
But you cannot help it if the story is so well done.
If it's amazing, it's just like, I gotta watch it, I guess. Like, a sad anime for me is also Toradora, even though I think Toradora is a great, like,
Oh, I love Toradora.
romance
It's
anime
hard to
as
get
well.
into, though.
Yes, when You have to be invested in it.
Yeah.
That was during my real anime heyday where I just watched anything under the sun.
Right.
But there was some like impactful moments in Toradora that really fucking ripped through me. Like the day that she realized that Taiga realized that she actually wanted to date the main character.
Yeah.
And he had gone to her house dressed as Santa or a bear technically. And he's trying to make her happy for Christmas and all that stuff. And she's just like, "Don't worry about me. Go ask the girl out of your dreams." And she's sitting home alone, and she's just water starts falling, and she's like, "What is this?" "Oh, I'm crying." "Why am I crying?" "Oh yeah, I'm in love with him, and I just sent him out to go ask my best friend out." And then she just books it out of her apartment looking for him, and I'm just like, I now know what sadness feels like.
Okay, so what's next?
Okay.
Next?
All right. So moving on. So I was going to go to romance because that seemed like a transition, but I had a thought. How about animes that take a last-second left turn? What I mean by that is a plot's going one way. I can name a couple of these, but the plot's going one way, and then decides to take a left turn, throw some random shit at you, and you have no idea what's going on now.
No, I got nothing for that.
All right. For instance, there's one anime called, I know a couple. 11 Eyes was one of them. There was one, I forget, it had something to do with flags. The guy could see flags above people's heads.
Never seen that.
Okay, what this plot was, he can see flags above people's head to know when they're about to do something that might endanger their lives. He can tell when they're falling in love with someone. Just a guy who could just tell. Mm-hmm. And for the first 9 episodes is about him using this power to set up his life, his romance, everything else. Come to find out that he is in a simulation. He is technically a program in the World Wide Web, and he needs to escape this world to take on the monsters that are trying to rule over the internet.
You weren't kidding. I went one way and then just took another fucking left turn. Okay.
So, animes like that.
I'm pretty much a simpleton. I like my story straightforward and no twists or turns too hard. You could twist, maybe 45, maybe even 60 degrees, but a 90.
I'm not looking for whiplash here.
Yeah, I want to be able to go home and not have neck surgery. Okay. So I remember one that I think I got maybe into, but it had a cool transition after like the first episode, where you think it's just another basic slice of life moe, and moe is technically like little girl animes, where they're all just going around school and just having cute dialogue and stuff like that, and come to find out at the very end, they're actually crazy and they're living in the zombie apocalypse. So they're just walking around to school, just having good old times and stuff like that, with dead people like outside the window. Their friends' corpses are right under them.
I mean, you gotta cope how you gotta cope, I guess.
Yeah, so they're still cutesy anime girls just walking around this just bloody hellish landscape, pretending like everything's okay.
Oh my god, okay, that actually sounds pretty good. I might want to watch that one.
Another one, End of School Days.
Oh my fucking god!
That's one that just was like
it was technically like it
was like a harem love.
Yeah,
triangle.
but it was only like 2, and I think it was based off of a game.
Yeah, I think so. But here's the thing: he slept with multiple, not just the 2.
Yeah, true.
About a guy who cheated on his girlfriend. Girlfriend eventually finds out. He tries to work it out, and it's just a romance anime until the last episode where she's sitting on the boat with his decapitated head.
Oh, you were talking about that? Yep.
She just stabs him, and then after a while, she just keeps fucking killing him, and she just takes his head. She just takes his fucking head,
and that's how they end it. And it's just like, wow,
I was watching, your basic generic harem anime, and now he's decapitated on a boat. Thanks, anime.
So yeah, that's what I mean by series that take a left turn.
Mm-hmm. But I think I've only seen like very few.
Has it ever been successful to you? Have you ever afterward been like, wow, that was pretty good?
Kinda. The reason I say kinda is because there are some times where I'm still like in shell shock. Like, what?
Where you still don't know how you feel about it?
Yeah, like, what the fuck just happened?
See, I don't, like, I've never seen really any of these. I just know of them from you. But I feel like I would enjoy them because I actually enjoy things with a mind fuck like that. I don't know why I really enjoy things that just, like, fuck with me. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just, for me, I do like it when it does that. Except for when it does it so weird, you're just going, like...
Just not considering.
Yes.
Okay.
For instance, one of them is, Gurren Lagann is a very popular one.
Oh.
No, he says.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that one is great, but that is a example of a good 90-degree left turn. Where they did a nice fishtail as they turned into it.
Mm-hmm.
Tires screeching kind of thing?
Yeah, it's one of those...
Missed oncoming traffic by that
much. Because think about it, they go from, okay, Gundam, to I'm fighting the galaxy.
And I gotta say, like, they killed one of the main three characters off pretty fucking quick.
Yeah.
He was a corpse pretty damn quick.
and you thought he was the main character.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, here's the main character, and here's his dumb, dorky sidekick. And then he's dead, and he's like, oh!
Shit.
Okay.
I
think the reason I can't think of any is because my brain is just so fuzzy when it comes to anime. I
yeah.
watched so much when I was a kid.
They all kind of merged.
Yeah.
Alright, here's another one. Akame no Kill.
Okay. I haven't watched it, but I've heard a lot about it.
Okay. That's another one where the main character from episode 1 to, like, episode 18, 19, he is the main character. They focus entire episodes on this guy, and he dies.
I remember you telling me about
Really? Yes.
Oh.
And then they switch gears to another character who was like his love interest. And she's the main character from then on. Okay. And it's like, no.
Yeah,
no anime. I do not appreciate this.
There are just some twists that just don't gel with me.
Yeah.
And I get it. They wanted to throw you a twist. It's the same way with Attack on Titans. The first 3-4 episodes, you're getting to know all these characters and stuff like that. And then the second they finally attack actual Titans,
it's just like, bloodbath.
Yeah, everyone's getting fucking murdered. But here's the thing. First off, I have to slightly care about them for me to give a shit if they get murdered. And some of them were just faceless nobodies that, you heard talk in the academy every once in a while.
Have you watched The Abridged?
Yes, from Team 4-Star. I loved the General. I swear to God, he was the best.
Harmonize with me!
Harmonize with me, Maggot!
I don't know. I fucking... Oh. See? I don't need to watch anime. If they could just abridge everything for me, I'd be solid. I wouldn't need to know anything else, ever.
And then they try to do another twist turn, where they were supposedly going to kill the main character. But practically everyone knew, okay, we're 4 or 5 episodes in. He's not going to be dead. I've seen enough of the art.
See, that's the thing. I wish they would have just left him dead.
Just
like,
it would have been a fuck, just like a mind fuck.
Exactly. But because that's the thing too is, like, I think a lot of the ones for people that aren't as huge into anime and they just watch more mainstream stuff like Attack on Titan or whatever, they don't know about the ones that are more of a left turn mindfuck kind of thing because those are a little more obscure. You have to get a little more into it. So I think it would have been hilarious for them to have a mainstream one that was just like, wow.
True, but that's always just that's a double-edged sword, always.
True, and
because
have such a I don't want to say feeble. If you have such a flighty audience to begin with, that is true. It might fuck with it too much.
Because there have been so many times where, if a character... I mean, they do this for support characters. A support character dies and people are just like, no! You bring them back!
But when it's the main character...
Yeah, and then when it's the main character, people could fucking riot.
They get a lot of flack for that, too.
Yeah, because there are some people that really like Eren. I think that's his name. No.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah. Mostly because I like to ship him with Levi.
Yeah, is that Eren Yeager?
Yeah, Eren Yeager.
Yeager, yeah.
I got him confused with Armin.
Ding ding!
Yeah, ding ding!
Okay. Alright. But yeah.
Anyway.
Like, another, like, mind-twisty one is Paprika.
What the fuck am I even looking at? They've got cell phones on their heads.
You should remember this, the Dreamscape one.
Oh, no. I'm thinking of a different one.
I don't think...
Oh, okay. Paprika's one of those, like, if you weren't familiar with the anime and manga beforehand, Paprika, you'd watch this, it starts off normal, and then people are roaming the streets with cell phone heads holding a parade while everything morphs into everything. Talking fridges, flying microphones.
So it's an LSD.
Yeah,
So
it's just there to fuck with people.
Yeah, but it has a plot to it, but it is definitely one of those, if you weren't familiar with what you're about to watch, it takes a left turn. Miyazaki does that really well, though, with left turns.
I enjoyed it, though.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, next genre, unless we have anything else to mention in this one.
In this one, no, I'm not going to mention anything else. Okay, so now we're going to get into your action adventures. This will cover most of anything you'd ever want it to.
Okay.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
Now...
Yep, straight up.
Original or Brotherhood?
Brotherhood.
Okay.
I have a soft spot for the OG Full Metal because that was the one that first started.
And that's when I started watching that one as a kid, and I'm like, oh, I'm really into this.
But when I watched Brotherhood, first off, the animation to me is a lot better.
Oh, hell yeah.
And two, that ending gutted me in the feels because I thought Alphonse was gone. Spoiler alerts. I thought he was dead and gone.
And then the whole thing with what if fucking Ed being in our version of reality, I was like, what the fuck? That was also a really left field if you think about it.
Yeah, it was.
Like,
and how he got his brother back, I thought that was a freaking amazing idea.
And the brother.
He gave up the wall. It's like, yeah, take that, I'm good. And then he just went the fuck back home with his arm and
God.
Yeah. Ah!
Can we file that maybe under sad anime too?
What, Full Metal?
Because it's that as well.
It can be.
That
It has sad
fucked
moments.
Big brother.
No, that I.
When I saw that, and I saw that fucking chimera-looking motherfucker say that, I was like,
That messed me up as a kid. I'm not gonna lie. For a couple days afterward, I was just like,
I can't.
pointless.
Yeah, I can't live anymore.
And I hate Hughes. Hughes is one of the worst ones too.
When Hughes dies. When is Daddy coming home? Why are they putting dirt on Daddy?
Though I do have to say, the payoff to that. Just when I saw Roy Mustang just crying fucking Envy, and Envy's just screaming and squirming. I'm like, good, burn him to death, bitch. I still watch that. I still watch those clips every now and again because it just hits me. And the one scene that I love the most is when he transforms into Hughes, and he's like, he won't do this to his best friend, and he blows his fucking eyes out.
Yeah. Oh, when he's fighting Envy?
Yeah.
Well, okay, but one thing that I really didn't like about the fact that they had two is that even though I watched the original a long time ago, and then I watched most of Brotherhood up to a certain point, and then I just, a couple months ago, finally watched it all again with him, because he was like, you have to finish it. I was like, okay, yes, I do. I still have trouble sometimes, and I mix the timelines up.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't like that, because I'm just like, but wait, I thought that was somebody else, and then this happened, and I was like, no, wait, fuck. That's the only thing I don't like about having two, because now I'm confused all the time.
See, when I think action-adventure, one of the first ones that come to mind for me is Hellsinger Bridge. Or not Bridge.
Hellsing Ultimate.
I love Hellsinger Bridge, but Hellsing Ultimate is, that, to me, kind of screams action. And that was kind of my top action until Drifters came through.
Drifters is fucking great. Me and him are binge watching through it.
I fucking love Drifters.
Nah. Anyway, if you haven't seen Drifters, that's another one I highly recommend. And I would list another one, but that is for the next topic.
So just hold it. You're alright. We'll get there. I'll remind you.
It's okay. Casey, put it in your box. Hold it in that box.
I guess Drifters would be counted in this one too. Okay.
Sorry, really quick. Is it wrong to pick up Girls in Dungeons, would that count?
That's action adventure. It counts.
Okay, yeah, what happened to that? Where's the rest of it? I fucking loved the first season. I want more.
Well, that same studio is now doing the second season of One Punch Man.
Okay, cool. Still really cool, but I still want more fucking, like, D&D real life crazy goodness.
Okay, so you're a big fan of that genre?
Yes.
Or fantasy adventure.
Yeah, I love fantasy. I love to read fantasy novels.
Oh, well,
I love fantasy anime.
I was about to ask, like, are you a big fan of, the idea of, some, schluff got sucked into a virtual reality?
I do like those a lot,
that's
too.
actually the next subject is In
Okay.
Another World will be the
Okay.
next subject.
Okay.
We will dive down that rabbit hole momentarily. So
More action.
Overlord.
Yeah.
that's another sucked in another world. That's my top one I was holding
Okay.
in.
Oh, damn it, you spoiled it.
I'm sorry!
Okay, more action ones.
Let's see. Guns.
Trigun.
Trigun
Was fucking good.
Darker Than Black.
Yes, though I wasn't that into it all that much. I do think that the story itself, though, was pretty damn good.
Black Clover.
Black Clover, that new one.
There's
still waiting for more.
so many people that shit on that anime.
I know, but it's turning out well. I'm actually enjoying where they're going
And
with
they've only.
it. It's
I
like
think
been 5 episodes.
I was about to say, I think it's really unfair to judge it quite that soon.
Well, I watched a movie, a YouTube video recently from Mother's Basement, who was discussing, the issues that Black Clover has, and the main tiff I mostly got from it is that he just thinks that it's a very almost unapologetically just generic shonen. He feels like the main character of Black Clover is just technically someone trying really hard to be like Naruto. He screams way too much. The nun beats him up way too fucking much or something like that. It's just, I felt like it was somewhat petty.
It was.
I do agree that it's easy to see it that way, but I like it enough that I'm willing to give it a chance to see if it comes up with more. Because if it does, I think they have a really good chance of getting it on.
Here's the thing. It's called character development.
Yeah.
You're allowed to start off with an annoying little piece of shit, as long as that annoying little piece of shit grows into something more mature and powerful.
I mean, that fucking happened with Naruto.
Unless it's the guy from Boku no Hero, the guy with the fucking things on his head. Oh, he pisses me off. He's annoying.
Oh, the French one?
No, the little guy, the little pervert.
Oh,
I still do not like him.
Boku who?
I don't know.
My Hero Academy, the guy with the grape.
That he pulls the grapes off his head. He's still fucking annoying.
I think I know him.
He's the little purple guy with like a diaper thing.
I don't know if I'm that far in it.
You've met him.
Okay, I probably have. I can't
Regardless,
He has the thing on his hair that can stick to anything.
Okay, yeah, that's vaguely coming to me.
He's got a really annoying voice. Anyway, sorry to.
Though the main chick in Boku no Academia, whatever the fuck you want to call it, she's the cutest motherfucking thing I've ever seen.
Oh no, she gets better too. Like
Thank you.
she gets so much cuter.
Oh, which
And
one
the
are we
main
talking about?
villain, oh my god, I mean that main rival. When I first saw him, I wanted to fucking beat the
Oh,
shit
he
out
gets
of him.
worse.
I still want to punch him in his stupid face.
Here's the thing. Like, I love Gravity Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
She gets really interesting.
Nice.
she does. But anyway, I do understand why people think that about Black Clover. But like I said, I'm willing to give it a chance for it to pull something good out of the hat.
It's really hard to say anything bad. Well, all right. I take that back. What are some things that ruin action adventure anime to you?
If the people are too OP from the offset, unless they're trying to play it for laughs, there's a lot of times where, a character is brought into the world or something like that, and he's just ungodly, but then they don't have anything to play off of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
the joke runs out real quick.
Yeah.
so that's more focused towards like In Another World.
Sometimes,
animes.
yeah. That and also, like in Trigun. I mean, Trigun was... he always played goofy and silly, but that's
you knew
because...
he was going to win.
Yeah, because he was a fucking badass.
What did you think in Trigun when a wolf died? You forgot about that, didn't you?
I repressed it.
Why'd you gotta remind him, man?
He was such a cool character. I loved his crossbow.
Yeah, a lot of people forget that he dies in that series.
It was so fucking sad too because the redheaded lady loved him.
Okay. So, yeah, But okay, so overpowered characters ruin action adventures for you. What about, have you seen Seven Deadly Sins?
Yes.
What about that? Those are 7 overpowered characters.
I'm not a big fan of Seven Deadly Sins.
Why?
Mostly, I just wasn't able to get into it, honestly.
Same thing.
It didn't grab me. Though, the giant woman, I fucking love her. I think her name's Diana.
Yeah.
Fucking love her. She's my favorite.
Alright, so let's transition. Oh, do you have anything that ruins action adventure anime for you?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. But he is really right. Just like super overpowered characters with nothing to work with.
Alright, so let's get into...
just one other thing. A convoluted world. Honestly, there were several that I used to watch when I was a kid, at least, that would try to make this, all just utterly different world from everything that you've seen, but it gets so fucking mangled and mismatched that you don't understand it.
Aruka 7.
Yeah. Aruka 7. Evangelion.
Code Geass.
Code Geass.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna back really far up for a second. Why can't I remember the name of it now? Now I can't remember the name. Shit.
What's it about?
It's in the same universe as Triple X Holic.
Tsubasa?
TSU.
Tsubasa.
Yes! Tsubasa Chronicles. Fucking love the shit out of that one. We can continue now. I had to get that out.
But,
Ooh.
I can't stand fucking Evangelion, but that's also for a myriad of other things. I feel like it's extremely pretentious. It's too far up its own ass. It uses symbolism in place of plot. And the main 3 people are either useless, annoying, or I want to beat the shit out of them. What's the main character's name again?
Sinji.
I want to kill Shinji. Every fucking time they need him.
Get in your ship, Shinji.
Yeah, every time someone needs him, he just has his own little, mental relapse. Just like, I don't wanna. No one cares. You know what?
I don't want it because it's part of my father. My father was never there for me.
You know what? They nailed an angsty teenager to a fucking T. I wanted him dead.
And how long ago was this? They were nailing it in, the 90s?
Yeah. And then I think there was one scene where he jerked off on to his unconscious friend, the redhead. And I saw that scene and I'm like, you really don't want me to like this character, do you? You gave him the worst. You made him do one of the worst things, and you still expect me to root for him? Now, I've explained this to some people, and some of them were fans, and they're like, well, that's the point. You're not supposed to like him. It's like, well, A for effort. You guys really made me hate him.
All right.
What else is there?
All right.
Anyway.
Yeah, convoluted.
Sorry for that tirade.
No,
All right, so now the topic is In Another World. Now, you seem excited. Go ahead.
would it count Another World as the guy who wakes up and he keeps replaying over what is called ReZero?
Yes.
Fucking love it, love it, so good.
ReZero is amazing. Have you seen that one?
Who do you think is best girl in ReZero?
The blue-haired maid. Every day of the week. What about
you talking about? You don't think the main chick is?
Yeah.
Isn't
the main chick? That ungrateful piece of shit.
Ungrateful and ungraceful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the blue-haired maid who fell in love with him, who wants to protect him. She had her neck broken and her body twisted, and she tried crawling towards him. Okay, that's devotion.
And it's just tragedy that he went for the other world.
Also, I'm sorry to back up one more time.
Okay.
The one with the guy with the hand. The alien hand. What is this called?
Oh, Parasite the
Parasite?
Maximum.
Fucking loved it.
Haven't seen
Yeah,
it yet,
that
but I've heard a lot
that
of
is
good
a
things.
excellent action adventure.
So good. Plot's great. Characters are great. Music is fucking perfect.
sad parts.
Sad parts, yeah, also good.
Like the mother.
Yes. Anyway, sorry.
Okay.
I know I keep backing up, but there's just so much good shit out there.
Okay, so in another world. Now, a lot of people have come to really hate this genre of anime. Y'all good there?
Yeah, it's just my brother.
Okay. So, well, shout out to your brother. Hi, brother.
Hey, Adam. You piece of shit texting me while I'm doing a fucking podcast.
I'll find
I
you.
told you before I came here.
We'll find you.
Well, I can understand why people don't like this genre because when I there it is again. When I read or when I like to read a lot. When I read and people do that, I just skip right over it. I don't even give it the time of day. I'm like, nope, I'm not into that. But
Also,
for
guys,
anime,
my brother just sent me a message that said KKK. He's a racist.
oh my God.
Dox him. Find out his name, his address.
Don't you live with your brother?
Well, I don't live with him, but I know where he lives. I just want other people to do it. Send him bags of shit.
On the flaming bags on the doorstep.
Yes, send him boxes of used condoms.
Alright. So, disclaimer. For any company who decides to want to hire either one of us in the future, please understand that we are completely satire. We will work for you in any way, shape, or form.
It
We
was
are
a
your
joke.
lawyer minions.
Yeah. I have no soul once I work for you.
Exactly.
You can ask me to do anything. I'll kill someone for you. But
You'd be great at Nintendo.
right?
Okay.
God.
Anyway,
Alright,
but
so-
I get what she's saying. Also, I feel like the biggest issue with it right now is that it's become, it became so hot so quick that people it just
A knee-jerk reaction.
it just started firing out shit that comes out. Some are good, some are just awful.
And some are amazing.
Yeah, some are
Like,
just amazing.
Rifters would be considered from another world.
Drifters is fantastic.
Overlord would be another one.
I love Overlord
So good,
more
yeah.
than I would love my own children. I think I'm going to name my kids Overlord and Drifter.
but see, I think a big thing about those two is that, yes, they're still technically from another world, but they're not going straight from our world to that world. Because in Overlord, he's going from a video game that he's basically devoted his life to, he's the last one left, yada yada, and he's all of a sudden in another world. So he's already removed from our reality. We don't ever see him
Right.
out in the real world. Same thing with, what's the other one we were talking about?
Drifters.
Same with Drifters. That's not something we're familiar with. We're not familiar with any of the people from the timelines that they pulled them from.
Yeah.
So that's technically already removed from us, and I think that's the
Yeah.
big thing why they're so
Okay.
likable.
We're forgetting the biggest elephant in the room here.
What?
The one that a lot of people sit there and say, put this on the map, even though it was mostly like H.hack, I think. .hack.
Oh,
That was-
hack sign.
Yeah, but it's not that one.
I wouldn't consider that from another world, though.
Sword Art Online.
I wouldn't consider that from another world either. That's digital. That's like Log Horizon, .hack.
But
That's its own genre.
No, but then you can't consider Overlord because that's technically digital.
See, that's debatable because Overlord's technically in a human realm now.
But there's not humans there. I mean, there are, but there are also.
Well, that's never been confirmed that any of those people are NPC or digital.
Well,
except
just-
for his people.
Just to save time and effort, let's just say it.
All right, let's mix the two. Let's
Yeah,
talk about the
let's-
two. Okay.
Okay.
So if you're gonna go
Let's
with the
split hairs,
virtual ones, then you have ones like .hack sign,
Log
Dot-
Horizon.
Log
Mo
Horizon.
almost punched him in the nuts there. I watched that. Jesus. That was close. Well, okay. I know that you said that you don't like Sword Art Online, and I have to disagree. I like the first 2 seasons. After that, I was just like, nah, they're just rinsing and repeating.
The moment they went back to the ferry,
Yeah, that the fairy one just got a little too far.
and then they went to Gun Gale, and
Or
then
no,
just
yeah,
kept going.
The guns is when because the first one is the kind of the medieval, and the second one's the fairies, and the third one's the gun one.
And then they kept going. After
Did they
that.
really?
Yeah, it goes on for a while.
Did they get? Is there more anime for it too?
No,
Yeah.
it's in light novels. Oh, they've already. Wait, yeah, they have.
Yeah.
After
they,
Gun Gale.
After Gun Gale, they did like a whole nother, I think. 2
Yeah, they went back to
seasons.
the fairies.
Yeah.
Those fucking fairies.
Yeah, they.
But maybe part of the reason I liked it personally is because I'm really into like fantasy genre, but
Oh,
also
yeah.
because that was one of the first animes that I'd ever seen where they did that, where they get transported somewhere else that way, and I was just like, oh shit, that's amazing. Even though they're not the first ones to do it, it's the first one I'd experienced.
Have you
Right.
seen the Sword Art Online abridged?
No.
Who does it?
I can't remember his name,
Oh,
but
damn.
but it is fucking phenomenal.
I'll
I didn't
have
laugh
to
that
try it.
hard until like Team 4-Star.
Because I'm saying, Team 4-Star didn't do it, but I'll give it a chance.
The
For
first
sure.
one's kind of iffy because of the voice actor for Kirito, but he gets really more into it once he starts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, other one?
For me, I liked the first 2 seasons of Sword Art Online as well. The fairy one got a little rapey for me.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really do that and expect your...
Just
a little.
a tad rapey.
Yeah, you can't expect to do that and then everything be hunky-dory.
And I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to make this villain, just abhorrent. You want this fucker to be dead.
Right.
But just after a while, it just becomes gratuitous.
And I was enjoying Gun Gale for like the premise of Gun Gale. I was going to enjoy, but then it just kind of seemed like a rehash of all of what they've already done.
Yeah.
Also,
They're
another
basically-
thing,
Sorry, they're basically just putting them in
Yeah.
different settings, same thing over. Anyway.
I think they kind of defanged themselves once they took the death out of it. The
Yeah.
death aspect of it.
Yeah.
Though they did try to bring it back in
With-
Gun Gale.
But that, like I said, that just kind of felt like a rehash.
Yeah.
Rather than playing it up to
I
what
forgot
it
that
is.
was a thing where they didn't know if you get killed, they don't know if you're dead in real life or not. Or did they
Right.
know?
No, they pretty
Which
much
one are you
knew.
talking about? The
The
original
original.
one?
Yeah.
The original one, they started to realize that once people actually started to die and,
Okay, yeah.
the microwaves actually fried them. And I think at the beginning he even said that there's been several cases just now that their parents try to take the helmet off of it and it just kills them.
Okay, yeah, so, they did know it. But yeah, I forgot that was a thing. It's like, oh yeah, it kills them if they really die. Which I thought was... added an extra level
Layer.
of urgency to it that it needed.
But I liked how Log Horizon did that.
Mm-hmm.
To where every time you die, in order to go back to the world, you have to give up some of your memories of the real world.
Fuck.
I don't feel like I've watched this one. Did I watch a few episodes of this?
Maybe
I
a
don't
few.
remember.
I watched
I-
the beginning of it, but I never got too
Yeah,
deep
that
into
was
it.
the secret that they were holding on to about
Yeah.
that, is every time you get respawned, you sacrifice some memory.
Shit.
That's not a good thing.
Do you want to keep playing, or do you want me to? You want to keep playing? Well, I'm gonna have to scrape out this memory of you getting a Nintendo 64 for your birthday.
Yeah, things like that. Yeah, this and like sometimes they were precious memories.
Oh, do you want to remember what your mom looked like? Too bad.
Fuck, I'm taking that.
So yeah, that was the weird thing about it. And yeah, I feel Log Horizon kind of did that a lot better.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about some more Into Another World?
All right, Into Another World. All right, one I love. Love is Restaurant in Another World.
Oh!
I don't think I've seen
I've
that.
been waiting for this one. This counts as Another World because he goes back and forth. Oh, it's so good. Oh!
Now, that is hard to call an anime. Because it is almost straight up food porn.
But the thing about it, though, is I like that they don't... It's not overdone food porn. You know, like some food porn, they're making the sex faces and you got
Like
like
Food
the
Wars?
big eyes.
We'll
Yeah.
get into why I like Food Wars here soon.
So like I enjoy that about this one because you can see how much they enjoy it, but it's much more downplayed, and I feel like I don't know. I just think that's better personally. It's not as comedic.
So you haven't seen Food Wars. After this podcast, I'm gonna make you watch one episode and see if you want to eat your sushi, because you probably will. Like it's kind of one of those series you're just like, Like after watching like 2 episodes, you're like, I'm gonna go make some food now.
Yeah.
And
And also take that food into the bathroom. I'm going to be out in a couple minutes.
but sorry.
I was about to go into what makes those genre bad, but go ahead with your thought first.
One more thing, since this related to Restaurant to Another World. I also find it really interesting too. I don't exactly know why, but I would consider it more of like a casual anime. There's not a lot of intense things going on. There's not really any fighting. There's not really any love interest. There's not a whole lot of comedy. Like,
So it's just food?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
But
a little bit of plot with a lot of good food.
yeah, with a lot of good food and really interesting characters. That's the thing. You
Okay.
learn about a new character
Every
two
episode.
You learn about 2 new characters every episode, and they're all the patrons of his patrons.
Yeah.
Patrons of his restaurant that come in, and so I just I think
As a small little anime, yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah,
It is, and
it's
that's
a
the
little
weird-
12-episode anime, and that's all there is to it, and it's amazing.
And you wouldn't
Okay.
think, because like I said, I'd call it more like a casual kind of anime, and I love it.
Is there a particular reason that he's in a restaurant in another world?
Yes, actually...
Is it like Purgatory or something?
No. It's one day a week, his restaurant just opens up to another world. The rest of the week, he works just as a regular chef.
Okay.
In our world, yeah.
In our world. And you don't understand why until the very last episode. They kind of finally drop the final hint in the last episode why this door does that.
And I think
It's a magical door.
Oh, it is. It's
very
definitely
good.
a magical door.
Answer the question.
But I just think
But
it's
I'm not going to ruin that for you because I'm about to show you one episode of it. And you're probably going to get home, watch all 12 episodes, and then
How
I'm going to see you and you're going to be like 40 pounds heavier.
popular is that, by the way?
I don't know. I need to check the reviews.
Because I honestly want to say that it's kind of like a little hidden gem, but I don't know how popular it is, so maybe it's not.
I mean, I haven't heard of it, but that's not much.
All right.
Not saying
So
much.
here's an example of in another world that is done badly. In another world with my smartphone.
Well, I'm glad you're both on the same page.
Have you seen this?
I've seen bits and pieces of it, and I just don't like it.
Just a quick rundown why it's horrible. Is the premise would have been okay. Premise of, he accidentally gets killed by God.
God damn it.
God offers him to go into the nether world, gives him OP powers, gives him martial arts, gives him ultimate magic in all shapes and forms.
Yeah, don't make
Basically,
him work for it or anything.
Don't make him work for it. Hand it all to him from the start, and he has no motivation for what he's doing.
Check one for a great anime. Give him all the powers up front. Doesn't have to work for a damn bit of it.
Yeah, basically, and there's just no struggle in it whatsoever.
I feel like that just defangs like 90% of any anime, especially
Yeah.
if you're dealing with like action anime. If your main character doesn't have to struggle at least once, you don't feel invested at all.
Right. And, like, that one just kind of seemed real lazy to me.
Yeah.
And my thing is, what ruins In Another World is whenever there's no reason for this character to be in another world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, would the plot survive if this was just a character? Like, there was one In Another World where the guy's a programmer, and he does, he's a master programmer, gets sent, and, does miniature model robots, things like that, gets sent to a world where they have Gundams, and he makes awesome Gundams.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, there was no reason for the background. He's from a world where he's a great programmer. Couldn't he just been a great programmer in this world to start off with?
So you're saying, like, this dude, there was no reason for him to be transported to this
Right.
world. If he had just started in that world, nothing would have been lost.
Right.
Nothing special about him.
Yeah, that's what ruins that anime genre for me.
Mm-hmm.
What is the one? Sorry, this is not necessarily a bad one. What is the one where they bring him in? I think he's a blonde guy. He's the champion. He's supposed to be their champion, and there's the people with the dog ears.
Dog Days.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about. I can't think of the
Yes.
name of
I
it.
think it's Dog Days? Dog something. 1 second.
I just remember that one. I remember that one being a pretty good one too, or pretty decent at least. Though I can't remember the name, but that's like most anime for me. I can't remember the name,
well,
but shit.
it's in a foreign language. You think I'm gonna fucking remember that? What's this Naruto thing?
Yeah, Dog Days.
Yeah, that was one. I actually really enjoyed that one too. It was kind of cutesy. And
Okay.
had some comedy, and I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, and that one kind of, they played with the idea. It was like a
Inuyasha.
Yeah, Inuyasha would be an old school, in another world.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys think of it?
I enjoyed it for nostalgic purposes. Not necessarily saying it's actually a good anime.
Kagome!
Alright. That's what you call a rinse and repeat plot.
Kagome!
Like, I'm sorry, I claim that shonen is rinse and repeat.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Inuyasha, for how many episodes was it of, I'm gonna kill Naraku!
Naraku shows up for a little bit. He's
Disappears,
like,
goes
no,
back
what
into
they do
Shredder.
is they, cut him in half, and it's like, haha, that was just a clone of me. And that happens nearly every episode. If not, it's just Naraku sending, like, a bee or something to, like, possess something or someone, and they
or,
have to...
Or they go, like, on a little side arc and then come back.
Yeah, it's always circled around Naraku. And I get that you want them to find their, one true thing. But to me, actually their main full focus was to gather the Shikon Jewel shard.
Mm-hmm.
The Shikon Jewel itself. So, Naraku was just the main villain just hanging over them, but it just...
I'm sorry, that was worse than One Piece.
I think that they had a really good
One
chance
Piece
to do good things with it, and they...
is too long, okay? I'm just going to admit that right now. One Piece has gone on far too fucking long.
I don't think it has. I'm the opposite of you on this one.
It needs to find an ending eventually.
Eventually, yes, but once you understand what One Piece is, it's interesting.
But that's the thing, too.
Oh, are you thinking that the One Piece is actually the journey instead of the...
No. It's actually confirmed what One Piece is. One Piece is not a treasure. It is the lost history of... It's like 600-year span that the world government is hiding of history. That would unravel the world's government.
That's some bullshit.
Major spoilers right there.
Major
Whoa!
spoiler.
That ruins the anime for me. I'm done.
They admit that like 300 episodes in.
I wanted it to be Jules. I wanted Luffy to get there. He's the Pirate King now. He took a bite of Gum Gum.
Well, here's the thing. Like, that's what they're hinting at. It's not officially confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
But, like... There are some major signs where you're just like,
well, also the military seems really fucking corrupt.
Also,
oh god, yeah.
It is, but also a couple things about that. I think it's really hard for new people to get into it
It
because
is.
There's so many episodes. It's not they're bad episodes by any means. It's just it's such an intimidating task. And also, hang on.
Shut your mouth,
I've been
Casey.
told by you specifically that you could easily skip the first 100 episodes.
I was just about to mention that. The first 100 episodes really is hard to get into.
Read a synopsis and go from there.
I've read about 300 of the mangas.
Yeah.
So trust me, it was during like one of my high school summers, and I said, okay, technically I'm just gonna blow through as many manga chapters as I possibly can this summer. So I just took off and ran with it. I think I stopped. It was when they went up to fight Eminem in the sky.
Okay. See, but here's the thing. Like, that series launched off and it just got better and better and better and better.
That's debatable, but okay.
No, for me it did.
Yeah.
Like, after the Sky Village, when it actually sets down, this is the plot and we're kind of continuing this, it got better.
Wait, did Crocodile happen before or after that?
Before.
Okay, so yeah, I did hit the...
Yeah.
I was about to say, because I remember Crocodile and I remember the floating islands. That's all I got right now.
Yep. Alright, well, before we go to the next genre, this is it for this episode of our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the middle of a debate, and we'll probably settle this debate off camera.
I might be losing some teeth.
Do I need to get my red flags out?
You might. Alright, so we'll see you guys next week, and hopefully you don't hug that body pillow too much, and hopefully you're not sending your nerd rage at us already for not listing your favorite anime.
Try it.
Alright, see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.